Shabbat Shalom, Joanne.
Shabbat Shalom.
I know, Charlie. We've met before with Harvey, Diane and Walter. Good to talk to you. It is very good. We look forward to it every week.
Good evening. We actually do have a few hours till Shabbos, but they like to be out of here on time, which is before Shabbos. But we pretend it's Shabbos. Good evening. You are in the right place. Rabbi Alex is elsewhere. Cantor Arlene, they'll be back. You'll have your crew back next week. Yeah, they make do with Rabbi Dr. Yonina Foster. Currently from Buffalo, New York. Lived in the Mid-Atlantic for 35 plus years.
We're using our temple voices.
And what I'd like us to do before our favorite Bruce Cars comes up is to just stop when you get in your seat with love, with my temple voice. Okay, I really am serious though. So what I'd like you to do is take a little Shabbos bath right where you are in silence. And if you want to use your arms to give yourself a little shower, let's take 1 or 2 minutes just in silence to leave the week behind, only bringing what you want. Take some deep breaths. Wonderful. Make sure your feet are on the ground. I'm actually going to be talking about feet with this Torah portion ACAB. Would you like to come up, please? Then I can just do my thing. Thank you.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Welcome to Rabbi Yonina Foster, who is ably filling in tonight. So, this is the first Erev Shabbat service that you are leading for us
Yes,
as a rabbi.
correct. That is correct.
Have you led others prior to this, or is this your first ever
As rabbi, I think I did a bunch of stuff in July. Sort of a blur.
Okay.
But I have led services actually for many years, just
Yeah.
as a quasi-rabbi.
Right. But this is your first.
And it's being recorded, right?
It is. So this is momentous because you've led services here for us for a number of years.
Yes.
This is the first one you're leading as a rabbi.
Right.
So would you like to lead us in a Shechianu in honor of that?
Oh, isn't that sweet? Sure. Yeah, I'm just thinking about this for a minute. You don't mind, do you? I know, it's 2 minutes less of singing. I just want to say thank you, Creator, for bringing us to this moment in the season of the fall of my life. I'm not yet to the winter, but as you can see by my gray hair, because I don't color it, I am in the fall of my life. And I'm grateful to be here. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, shehechianu v'kiyamanu v'higianu lazman hazeh.
Very nice. It's an honor for us to be here tonight as you're doing this. Lots of stuff I'll be talking about a little later in the announcements, but we're in for a treat. Rabbi Yonina always leads a very spiritual service. Rabbi Alex is down in Chautauqua where nothing happened today. And we are very grateful for that as well. Anyway, enjoy the service.
Yeah, actually, this seat is really nice. So let's see if I can. It's all right, I'll get it. Some of you may have paid attention to Cantor Arlene's Song of the Week. Well, what's really sweet is she knows this too. I've been singing this, although she doesn't know. I've been singing it for decades. So it's not a new song wherever you go. It does seem to me like a wonderful way for us to begin. And it's on the back of this handout. It wasn't on the, there it's on the, excuse me, it's on the yellow page, excuse me. Thank you. Forgive me, it's on the yellow page. Okay. So it's just a really sweet way to begin. And some of you who had children of a particular age when I did music for the religious school may actually remember this. It goes like this. Wherever you go, there's always someone Jewish. You're never alone when you say you're a Jew. So when you're not home and you're somewhere kind of newish, the odds are don't look far, 'cause they're Jewish too. Oh, Amsterdam, Disneyland, Tel Aviv, oh, the miles apart. But when we light the candles of Sabbath Eve, we share in the prayer in each one of our hearts. Ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum, ba-da-da-da-dum. Some Jews live in tents, and some live in pagodas, and some Jews pay rent, 'cause the city's not free. Some Jews live on farms in the hills of Minnesota, and some Jews wear no shoes and sleep by the sea. Amsterdam, Disneyland, Tel Aviv, oh, they're miles apart. But when we light the candles on Sabbath Eve, we share in the prayer in each one of our hearts. Ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum, ba-da-da-da-dum. And some Jews wear hats, and some Jews wear sombreros, and some wear keffiyehs to keep out the sun. Some Jews live on rice, and some live on potatoes, or waffles, falafels, or hamburger buns. Amsterdam, Disneyland, Tel Aviv, oh, they're miles apart. But when we light the candles on Sabbath Eve, we share in the prayer in each one of our hearts. Do the chorus one more time. Amsterdam, Disneyland, Tel Aviv, oh, they're miles apart. But when we light the candles on Sabbath Eve, we share in the prayer in each one of our hearts. We share in the prayer in each one of our hearts. So imagine that. How many of you have traveled and you go to the synagogue? Almost all of us probably look for the Jewish community someplace. Yeah, there are. It's really pretty amazing to think that somewhere somebody is singing what we're singing, probably in a very different tune, but that's okay. So I mentioned last week, page 128, that what Shabbos is, or maybe the rabbi mentioned it, the other rabbi, that this is a love song, Yedid Nefesh. And the thing is about Shabbos is it's like a wedding, a grand wedding, other than that one that happens on Yom Kippur, which doesn't seem as cheery usually, but it's a wedding. And so there are love songs. There are love songs between us, between God, and maybe you and your partner. Who knows? Here we go. And you know what I just realized? Hold on one second. And my capo. Well, I hope I don't need my capo. Yedid nefesh avarachama, Yedid nefesh avarachama, Meshoch avdecha, Eretz onecha, Meshoch avdecha, Ya la 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 la, Eretz רצונך ירוץ עבדך כמו היער ישתחווה לה 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 אל מול הדרך יא לה 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 יא לה 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 יא 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 לה 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 La 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 la. And those of you who dance can hear that waltz. Yeah, remember waltzing with your loved one or just by yourself. So now we come to the candles, and like I'd love to invite everybody up actually, so I'm not quite sure how to do this because I actually meant to. Hold on a second. I think I'm too tall. There we go. Let's see. Give me just a second, okay? Because I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. So how do we do this? Well, I would like to invite somebody up because they've been special. Everybody here has been special, but I had help when I was studying with the learning about the prophets. And Rabbi Dr. Ellen helped me. Now, I don't know if Rabbi Dr. Ellen wants to come up because she has some walking issues, but you know what? Maybe I could bring the candles back to you. Hold on. Always non-traditional with Yomina, so that's all right. I'm bringing them to you.
Oh, well. I was coming up.
That's all right. We'll meet right in the middle. Is that okay? Excuse me.
I don't.
And okay. Woo! That's why you have to close your eyes, but we're not going to go through that lesson. Guess what, you all? Hold on. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
And that's why Cantor to Bruin said always the FID.
And there's probably a halacha who says I'm not supposed to do this, but we'll believe I did this the right way. And then, would you please just wait the yuck to do the Kiddush? I didn't ask you. Are you willing? Thank you. That microphone?
I'm going to say that.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei uri ha'gafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu b'shabbat kodsho b'ahavra uvratzon Zikaron le'maseh
So the Kabbalists sang many psalms to welcome this Shabbat, the Sabbath, but we're going to move towards Lecha Dodi, please. 138. And while we do that, I'm just going to sing a little bit of one. Naria letzur ishenu Naria letzur ishenu. And if you look at the English of Lecha Dodi, as some of you I'm sure have, you'll see where this bride business keeps coming up, because it's all about the bride, and we welcome the bride of the Sabbath, Lecha Dodi. And we are going to be doing verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor v'dibur echad, Ishmiyanu el hamichad, Adonai echad u'shemo echad, L'shem tiferet v'litila. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha, Ki hi makor habracha, Merosh mikedem nesucha, Sof ma'aseh b'machshavat tefila. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Verse 5. Yidhi toreri, Kiva orech, Kumi ori, Uri, Shir daveri, Kevod Adonai, alayich nigla. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. And please rise if you are able. You really face the west, believe it or not, because you see those old Kabbalists or young ones, the west is this way where the sun is setting, because that's actually how you welcome the Sabbath, right? It's as the sun sets. It's very cool. Imagine if you've been in Svat, you go out to the hills and you welcome, you face the west of the setting sun, because it's when the sun sets that our Sabbath begins. Boi v'shalom ateret ba'ala, Gam b'simcha u'b'tzohala, Toch emunei ab-segula, Boi kala, Likrat kala. Say hello to everybody. Matnikabela. Turn to your neighbors. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Please remain standing for our real welcome. See, this is the thing. The Baruch Hu is really where we're welcoming. So one more time, just say hello to everybody, because it's the Baruch Hu that's our official welcome to this next part of the service, which I may have mentioned last time also, is about love. It's about love and redemption. And so everything that's in this part of the service is about that. It's about recognizing God's oneness, if you believe in God, or creator of oneness, which we do in the Shema. And that if we follow the rules and the laws, all kinds of interesting things could happen to us. And in this very week's Torah portion of Erev, if you look in it when you go home, if you haven't already, you'll actually find this second paragraph of the Shema, which is in conservative prayer books and Orthodox, but it isn't necessarily in the Reform prayer book. The second paragraph of the Shema. So, Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed. Let's please be seated and let's sing together, share together the reading on page 147. There is one who sings the song of his own life, or her life, finding everything within themselves. There is one who leaves the circle of herself and sings the song of her people. There is one whose voice rings with the song of humanity, hoping for the highest perfection. And there is one who rises even higher, uniting with all creatures, with all worlds, filling the universe with song. Nivarech, let us bless. And page 148, please, for the blessing of Ma'ariv Aravim. Baruch atah Adonai HaMa'ariv Aravim. And this is about the Creator who creates light and darkness and everything in between. It's kind of interesting to imagine that, yes? We don't often give ourselves the opportunity to do that. Just ponder that. Doesn't take words, does it? And if I want to believe there's a creator, which I do, then I really believe it's loving, and that's what's on page 150, Ahavat Olam. Ahavat Olam Beit Yisrael Amchata Torah Mitzvot Chukim Mishpatim Otanu Limadeta Al Kein Adonai Eloheinu V'shachveinu v'kumeinu Nasiach bechukecha V'nizmach b'divrei Toratecha U'v'mitzvotecha Le'olam va'ed Ki heinu ve'orech yameinu Uvahem negeh Yomam v'layla Yomam v'layla Va'avatacha el tasir maimenu le'olamim Baruch atah Adonai Ohev amo Yisrael. And this is about everlasting love. That love that goes on, while you're here and when you're not here in body. Yeah. Lots to think about. Including this. Turn the page, please, and let's do it a little more slowly the way Rabbi Yoni likes to do it. Because we have to listen. It's very hard to listen when we're running through things. What do you have to listen to tonight? Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. That's why we close our eyes if you're wanting to. Because when you say Shema and you have to listen, you don't need to be looking outside. You need to be looking inside. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levecha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשופך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיכם. I'd love to give you a moment or two to wander through the next page before we come to Micha Mocha. So we were taken out of Egypt so we could worship God freely and create a nation of people who want justice and love. And if we follow those guidelines, sometimes really, really good things happen. Not always, but we have to remember that we're taken out of Egypt every moment of our lives. Just sitting here right now, we have our Reed Sea right here where you're sitting. So it's not back there, it's here with us. So we have to remember we have to take ourselves out sometimes. We have to be Moshe or Miriam and take ourselves to freedom. And then we can sing a song like Micha Mocha because we get to the river, we have to cross over, and it's really pretty awesome when it happens. Yep, it is. Micha Mocha ba'elim ya Micha Mocha neder b'kodesh Micha Mocha ba'elim ya Micha Mocha neder b'kodesh Nora tehilot osei peleh Nora tehilot osei peleh Yayin loch le'olam va'ed le'olam va'ed Yayin loch le'olam va'ed le'olam va'ed. It's the last line of that second paragraph. Micha Mocha ba'elim ya Micha Mocha neder b'kodesh Micha Mocha ba'elim ya Micha Mocha ba'elim ya V'nemar ki fada Adonai et Yaakov Ugalo miyad chazak mimenu Baruch ata Adonai Ga'al Yisrael. And on our journey, a lot of times we need some protection. And in our evening services, we have the Hashkivenu. Ufros Aleinu Sukat Shlomecha Ufros Aleinu Sukat Shlomecha. It's the third line. Ufros Aleinu Sukat Shlomecha. Spread over all of us the Sukkah of Shalom. Spread all over us the Sukkah of Shalom. Ufros Aleinu Sukat Shlomecha. What would you like to spread over us? What would you like to spread over all of us. How about the green leaves of earth? Spread over all of us the green leaves of earth. Spread over us the green leaves of earth, and understand our part in keeping those leaves green. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Spread over us the sukkah of shalom. As we enter the time that we're at the foot of Mount Sinai, which is also known as the Amidah, the standing prayer, I'm going to offer a reading that's not in your prayer book. But I will then ask you to turn, please, to page 164. So when you stand or rise, if you're able to, for the Amidah, think about being at the foot of Mount Sinai before we received revelation, because that's what Torah is. So we get a chance to be with God. Now on Shabbos, you don't ask for stuff if you can avoid it. You just be, and you say thank you, and you look at the benedictions that are in here. Wind song. How shall I tame the wind with sails and rudder? How shall I tame the wild waters with keel and rib? Then shall I shout, come wind, carry me far. How shall I tame my heart with deeds of love? How shall I tame my soul? Only with prayer. Now let me shout to you, my God, as I shout to the wind, come! I have prepared my heart for you, and my soul waits like an empty sail. Surely you know how I have patched the cracked hull, spliced the raveled sheets. Come to me, God. Come as the wind comes singing in the rigging of the tall white ships. Ruth Bryn shared that with us. So please turn to 164 and rise if you are able. And that was my Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Modi manach nulach, Modi manach nulach. We thank you, God, for all your gifts. Modi manach nulach, Modi manach nulach, Modi manach nulach. We thank you, God, for all your gifts. Modi manach nulach, Modi manach nulach. Page 180, please. And this is a beautiful line. It's actually from Job. Job went through a lot, as all of us do. And it's this amazing verse that says, "May the one who causes peace to reign in the high heavens, let peace descend on us and all of Israel," and everyone, of course. And then we say Amen. Ose shalom, shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'himru amen. Hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Amen. Ose shalom, shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'himru amen. Hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Amen. Sometimes it's like that, isn't it? Doesn't quite feel like it ends. So, thank you. Thank you very much. Misha Berach. We do Misha Berach now. As we sort of enter our Torah. Page 371, and I will mention the names. Please go to 371. .371 is our Misha Berach. And these are the names on our list. And forgive me if I say anybody's name incorrectly. Bob Bowisoto, Stephen Bernstein, Kim Brodsky, Colleen Cohen, David Denzel, Nancy Durkin, Joe Frandina, Sue Frank, Michael Gettings, Marlene Glickman, Hillary Hurwitz, Ken Kellick, Mark Nightinger, Miles Levy, Fanny Markel, Joan Ullendorf, Maddie Rinsberg, Cheryl Rossi, Brandon Ryan, Judy Van Horn, Mike Wheeler, Colette Zappia, Hanan Ezra Ben Shul. Whew. Sorry, this is a little bit of a memory. I grew up around the corner from the Zappias in Sedgemore Court. They were in Cranbourne Lane. Misha Berach, I would like to read the English of a different version before we do the one from, and I will get names in just a moment before we do Debbie Friedman's. And then I'll get the names. May the one who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, bless all of those who need healing, since they come up to Torah and honor of God and Torah. May he, she merit from the Holy One. This is for the Aliyah. Forgive me, I was looking at the wrong page. May the one who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, may it bless and heal those who are ill, all those I've named and those who will be named. May the Blessed One, holy, be filled with compassion for their health, to be restored and their strength to be revived. May God swiftly send them a complete renewal of body and spirit, and let us say, Amen. And the names, please, of anyone who wasn't on the list.
Frima Ackerhall.
Yes?
Sharon Ellen Bogan. Sharon Ellen Bogan.
Got it both. Okay.
Okay.
Badami Bachelami.
Thank you.
Judy Nussbaum, Sheila Cheta.
Okay.
Phyllis Goldstein.
Erica Fox and Susan Peterson.
Okay.
Sarah Rupert and Ed Cochran.
Thank you. Thank you. May the healing be complete. Mishaberach avotenu mikor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mishaberach imotenu mikor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen. Thank you very much. Okay, so guess what? Rabbi Yonina gets to speak a little bit more. But I'm also told, don't speak too much, don't too long. Nobody here told me that. I can imagine how those rabbis of ancient days though felt, because like, oh yeah, in 3 seconds you gotta give this, like, you gotta tell the story of our people from a couple thousand years ago. Are we up to it? So, I mentioned early on, I think, about our feet, and I don't remember how I actually came up with it way at the beginning, but there are some people who think about Shabbos as a time to re-soul, as an R-E-S-O-U-L. But this Torah portion, Erev, is about a different soul. Sole of your foot. It's about your heel. Can you, like, inside your shoe, imagine your heel. Nobody's looking at their heel. Come on. Right? You could even take your shoe off if you want to. I'll leave mine on. Okay? So, Erev actually means because and heal. Because and heal. It's really the wonderful magic about Hebrew that we have at least one Hebrew expert here. I'm not an expert at it, but I know a little bit. And so this parsha begins, V'haya Erev, Tishme'un et, Hamishpatim ha'ela, Ushmartem v'asitem, otam. V'shamar Adonai Elohecha lecha et habrit, ve'et hachesed, asher nishbat la'avotecha. So what it's telling us is, it's because we listen that stuff happens. Like, this is where Moshe is in the second parsha, the second month, the second week, whatever, of telling his story. We might call it a life review. Has anybody been with loved ones when they've gone over their lives and gleaned the lessons from them? That's what this is. So he's going over our story. And he's telling us that when we listen to the ordinances and observe them and perform them, then we safeguard that God, our God, will maintain the covenant of kindness with us. Wow. Like, to me, that's really profound. Of course, you got to figure out what the ordinances are, how to follow them. Ay, ay, ay. It's a lot. It's a lot. And in this parsha, one of the things that I found, which I think is so important and is part of the healing from Tisha B'Av, is the 3 words, and they're in your handout on the back page. And we're going to look at those for a moment or 3 so to get us finished on time. And just so you know, it's chapter 8:10. There we go. Okay. So this is what it says. I think we're given a mindfulness practice. Now, it doesn't say that in there, but for me, this is a mindfulness practice. There are 3 words in Deuteronomy, in Erev, chapter 8, verse 10, and it says, Ve'achalta v'savata uvarachta et Hashem Elohecha al haaretz hatova asher natan lach. We're told that we will eat and be satisfied, and you will bless. So think of that. How can that become a mindfulness practice for you? All you have to do is go home and pull out all those little booklets that you got at the weddings, maybe at a bris, and you look up what? Who knows? Now, don't, Harvey knows. Yeah, what do you look up, Harvey? You're right. 3 little words in the Torah led to all those words. Oy, and blessings. Because we have to be conscious enough and be aware of what we receive. Gratitude ain't nothing new. We have to say thank you. And the rabbis actually believed that if we don't say thank you, we're stealing from God. So the rabbis came up with this thing called Birkat Hamazon, and there are actually 4 blessings, excuse me. The 3 relate to you will eat, you'll be satisfied, and you'll bless. It has to do with, hold on a second, the food, the land, Jerusalem, and God's goodness. And Rabbi Abraham Isaac Cook, who was the chief rabbi of Jerusalem until 1935 when he died, said that these 3 words, you will eat and you will be satisfied and you will bless, are a ladder of prayer as we raise our sights and aspirations. Now, right after that verse, we're told we're going to forget. We're going to forget to say thank you. And later on in this chapter, we are reminded of the golden calf incident and the tablets that broke, and then the new tablets. And at the very end, we are told we're going to sing this song so you get it. In the very end, we are again reminded of our feet. And I have to say, I was really quite excited about that, because when I made this whole thing about the heel, which is not just what we're talking about, but because and everything is connected, because of this, because of that, consequences, well, our heel connects everything. The foot bone's connected to the leg bone, the leg bone's connected to it, right? Heel isn't exactly that, and that was actually spiritual by 2 gentlemen, all right? So in the end of this parsha, we are then told, every place where you will stride the sole of your foot, kaf raglechem. Thereunto you shall be from the wilderness and the Lebanon, from the river Euphrates, until the sea to the west shall be your boundary. There shall not stand up any person before you. The fear of you and the awe of you God will place, your God, upon the face of the entire land where you will stride. So even though we're really talking about because and all these connections, our foot, you might think a little bit about your heel as you walk on this journey and the connection it has to your past, maybe where you're going, where you've come from. Yeah, and maybe you'll say thank you for the food you eat. And then you'll start thanking the Creator for like everything. And things could be really good. Ve'achalta. This is how it goes. So this is by a very special rabbi, mentor, friend of mine. And it goes like this. Everybody have it in their little booklet? Ve'achalta v'savata uverachta. Ve'achalta v'savata uverachta. We ate when we were hungry, and now we're satisfied. We thank the source of blessing for all that she provides. Ve'achalta v'savata uverachta. Ve'achalta v'savata uverachta. Hunger is a yearning in body and soul, earth, air, fire, water, and spirit make us whole. Ve'achalta v'savata uverachta. Ve'achalta v'savata uverachta. Giving and receiving, we open up our hands. From seed time through harvest, we're partners with the land. Ve'achalta v'savata uverachta. Ve'achalta v'savata uverachta. We share in a vision of wholeness and release, where every child is nourished and we all live in peace. Ve'achalta v'savata uverachta. Ve'achalta v'savata uverachta. So take this along with you, and I hope you'll remember to say thank you. So, page 591, please. Please rise. What is it, please?
586.
Thank you. 586 is Elaine, exactly. Okay. I don't know how I got the wrong number there. That's all right. Thank you. Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon hakol, la'tet gedula yetzer bereshit, shelo asanu k'goyei ha'aratzot, velo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, v'gor aleinu k'chol hamonam. V'anachnu korim u'mishtachavim u'modim Lifnei melech malchei hamlachim, HaKadosh 591. V'ne'emar v'yadonai lemelech al kol haaretz bayom hahu yiyadonai echad u'shemo echad. Please be seated. It is a fearful thing to love what death cannot touch, can touch. A fearful thing to love, hope, dream, to be an oh, to lose. A thing for fools this, and a holy thing to love. For your life has lived in me, your laugh once lifted me, your word was gift to me. To remember this brings a painful joy. 'Tis a human thing, love, a holy thing to love, what death has touched. Shaloshim for Richard Bronstein and Bronya Umansky. Yahrzeit for Philip Eckerholt, Minnie Becker, Lillian Brody, Nicholas Carosella, Eva Cohn, Ellen R. Davis, Victor Diener, Estelle Ethelson, Irving Faden, Arthur C. Feinberg, Elizabeth Felstein, Sam Ferris, Max Philip Finkelstein, it's my grandpa. Beatrice Friedman, Marcel Gutman, Stephen Ira Haber, Mildred Gordon Hannaford, Robert Horwitz, Abraham Kaiser, Jack J. Kuritsky, Sheldon Kurtzman, Jack Landau, Suzanne Lynn, Aaron Lippman, Marvin Mednick, Blanche Meister, Michael Organic, Simon Parrell, Gary Phillips, David Pohl, Evelyn Rabin, Charles Haskell Raphael, Gerald Rosen, Dr. Harold R. P. Rubin, Mary Schmidman, William Siegel, Bernard Silverman, Alan A. Singer, Patricia M. Snyder, David L. Stein, Marvin Steinberg, David Wakehoff, Manny Weiner, Sophie Z. Weinstein, and are there others in the community?
Barbara Lebowski.
Stanley, Diane, and Joseph Dudigian. Gail Blank. Barbara Shapiro.
Just mentioned him. I did. Thank you. Thank you. For those whose custom it is to rise, please do so. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shmei Rabbah, v'yama divrach kirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayeichom u'v'imeichom u'v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'v'zman kariv v'imiru, amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach v'yolam u'lamei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitrumam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shmei d'kudusha b'ruchu, Le'ela min kol brichata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechamata, da'miran bi'alma v'imiru, amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shamaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imiru, amen. Oseh shalom b'mamav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imiru, amen. Please be seated, thank you. We think of our loved ones whom death has recently taken from us, those who died at this season in years past, and those whom we have drawn into our hearts with our own. Zichrona livracha, may their memories be for blessing. And I really would like to point this out before Bruce comes up on 598. I hope you'll read the English, because those of you who don't know this yet will now know. There is not a word about death in our mourner's Kaddish. First of all, it didn't start out as a mourner's Kaddish. It's all about life and praising life. I think it's nice to know that. Thank you. Okay, Bruce.
That really is a beautiful thought, though, about that. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you to Rabbi Yonina Foster for leading her first CSS service this evening. You know what that means? We have cake. we have cake for the Onig, and of course, Mazel Tov to Yanina on becoming a rabbi. Joanne, would you like to come on up here with a little something?
Oh boy.
She wanted to get you a bacon cheeseburger. I said no.
Yonina Mazel Tov. We know that this has been a long journey for you, and there's been some major ups and downs, and you still persevered, and here you are, and we wish you the best in a long journey of Mazel Tov and peace, and bringing peace to all of us. And we have some flowers because you bring beauty to our lives, and a menorah because you light our lives with love. And I hope you think of us when you.
Oh my God. Oh my goodness.
That was as good as Joanne has ever been. That was really good. Well, she kept it short. Thank you. Well, she's a rookie. What can I say? Thank you to Marsha Bougie for being our service greeter this evening. Thank you to Bagel J's, who provide 2 delicious challahs for us every Shabbat. They are truly appreciated. Tomorrow morning, we are virtual for a Torah study at 9 a.m. via Zoom. The Shabbat morning service will be at 11 at Canterbury Woods. Stuff coming up. Next Tuesday, you know what Tuesday is? Shabbatas. Yes. By the way, I think we only have one in August because the fair, the Erie County Fair is coming up, and that really, oh, you're going? Good for you. That really impacts our attendance, so I'm pretty sure we only have the one Shabbatas. What? We're doing one on a Thursday?
Yeah.
I was wrong. We will have another one later in the month on a Thursday. Okay, but this one is on a Tuesday like it always is, so make sure you place your order in advance. Go to the website so you can be sure of getting one, and thank you as always to our Shabbatas volunteers because you make a big difference for us. All this month, you may have noticed the basket out front and the sign. Our Tikkun Olam team is collecting school supplies. It's August. Kids are going back to school. There's a significant need for that. So we're collecting school supplies this entire month. A special thank you to Todd Sugarman and TLS Landscaping, cleaning out our basement, our storage areas. The building has never looked better. Go check out, no, don't check out the basement. Even clean, you do not want to check out our basement. But check out, the Joanne's office hasn't done it either. Anyway, the building looks great, and Joanne's office will be next. Monday, we have our summer celebration with Temple Bet Zion. That's at Transit Valley Country Club. Thank you to everyone who signed up for one of the events, sponsored, made a donation. Are you assembling the baskets tomorrow? If anyone would still like to donate something for the basket raffle, a gift card, a bottle of wine, talk to Joanne after the services, please. We are involved in a new program. It is called Season of Musar, and this is an opportunity for you to refine your understanding of your inner nature, develop new skills as you grow in awareness and wisdom. This is being led by Evie Weinstein and Ronnie DeBrowen. They will meet on 7 Wednesdays at 7 o'clock p.m. beginning on September 13th. The cost is $36 per person. Evie or Ronnie are not here this evening. Is there a flyer? There's a flyer inside. Couple of special services coming up. This coming Friday, a week from tonight, Friday, August 11th, we are having a mini concert with Jay Dreff and Ken Kaufman. We know that will sound magnificent, and that's going to be followed by gourmet pizza and wine. Make sure you let Joanne know if you're coming, because we want to make sure we have enough gourmet pizza and wine, especially wine, because I think Julie is coming, so we need to make sure we have enough. And then Noah Boudin is going to be back on Friday, August 18th. That will be our end of summer barbecue following that, but we know what a wonderful service it is every summer when Noah joins us. If you take your service leaflet home, because it's got other stuff listed in it. If you need anything, please feel free to reach out to Rabbi Alex, but not this week. Cantor Frank, but not this week. Joanne, this week or any week. Todd, anytime, day or night. Or me. We are always here for you. Please join us for the Onig in honor of Dr. Rabbi Yonina Foster we have cakes. 3 cakes in honor. You're special. You're very special.
Is for each blessing the Birkat Hamazon.
There you go. Perfect. Shabbat
Although
shalom,
there are 4
everyone.
blessings. All right, before the motzi, let's just do the first verse of Wherever You Go. That'll be our closing song. That'll be our Adonai one. Wherever you go, there's always someone Jewish. You're never alone when you say you're a Jew. So when you're not home and you're somewhere kind of newish, the odds are don't look far, 'cause they're Jewish too. Amsterdam, Disneyland, Tel Aviv, oh, the miles apart. But when we light the candles on Sabbath Eve, we share in the prayer in each one of our hearts. Wherever you go, there's always someone Jewish. You're never alone when you say you're a Jew. So when you're not home and you're somewhere kind of newish, the odds are don't look far, 'cause they're Jewish too. The odds are don't look far, 'cause they're Jewish too. How about this row of people right here? Come up, please, to the notes. See. Thank you. That's actually a gratitude too, when we say it before, as well as saying thank you afterwards. Thank you, everybody. Shabbat shalom.
Very nice. That was very nice. I had dinner with them the other night. Hamburgers and some sauce. They were one of my favorites. Very interesting. Yeah, thank you. Hello. Yeah. I wonder where she went to school.
She was looking like
I wonder where she got her degrees from.
Thank you.